Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphries, joined by my co-hosts Gage Bertovich and Gordon Chatterton this week. The trio is back again this week. Guys, how we doing after a week of football? The trade deadline just passed. We've got a really great Amazon Prime Thursday night game, guys. How's it going? How y'all doing?
Yeah, you know what, Gordon? I'll let you start off because I'm sure you have more to say than what I do.
I know we're going to get into rants here, but I told Brent I'd let him go first. I'll let him go first. I'll let him get that out of the way, and then I'll go in.
Before we get into rants and everything, though, Gage, you doing all right after Steelers' big win over Indy last Sunday? Gordon called it.
Huge win. I kind of like being the underdogs and having everyone favored against us because that seems when we play best. Held Jonathan Taylor, I think, to 45 yards. It played the run great. The score was a lot closer than what the actual game was. I think 5 takeaways, 6 sacks, or maybe vice versa.
Yeah.
Great showing by the defense. Colts scored, I think, 1 or 2 touchdowns in garbage time. So 27-20 is the final. A win's a win, and we are still.
Well, the Ravens didn't get anything, but football dude is ready to pounce, it seems like, over there in the comment section. Like every week, he's like, hey, watch out for the Ravens. I believe he put something in last week that we were like idiots. Me and you, Gage, were idiots, and the only smart one on here was the Packers fan. Is what he said on there. So, yep, man. Yeah, we'll see how it is, Mr. Dude. I don't think the Ravens are winning this division. I'll go ahead and say that right now.
It's hard to come back from where were they 1-5 to win a division.
Yeah, but I'm saying that right now. So come on. Let us know again, whatever. Trash us again. I don't care.
I mean, technically, if the Ravens are still in it, technically the Browns are still in it. No, they're not. But,
Ew.
statistically, they're still in it. They are.
The Bengals are in it offensive-wise. That is for sure.
Did you see? Did you see the thing that the ESPN reported on? Cam Hayward pretty much called everybody else on his defense soft.
Yeah.
Pissed them off, and they played like it.
As it should after the previous game. Oh my gosh, it was like a completely different team, and it was great.
I wish somebody on the Bengals defense would call somebody else soft on there, piss them off, because it ain't happening for them.
Well, you guys have a captain like Logan Wilson or so. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, he was named team captain before the season. That turned out really good for him.
It was basically benched.
And where is he now?
Or Alice, the Alice Cowboys, Yeah, so last Sunday, the Bengals game, where do we start? They can't stop the run. It's a shootout. They're down 41-27 with less than 2 minutes to go. And Joe Flacco finds Noah Fant in the end zone for a touchdown. Yay. Hey, go for 2. T. Higgins catches the 2-point conversion. It's 41-35. Oh, okay. Well, you still got to recover an onside kicks. Whatever. It's not happening. Wait a minute. The Bears player touches it before it goes 10 yards. What is he doing? Why would you do that? Eagles recover. Uh-oh. We still got to go down the field. Go right down the field, though. Touchdown, Yossi Vosh, 9 yards out. The Bengals have a 1-point lead with 50-some seconds. They score 2 touchdowns, 15 points in 49 seconds. And I've got my hopes all the way up for whatever reason, because I'm stupid, because I know how this Bengals defense is. I should have known. So the Bears get the ball. First play, Caleb Williams takes it and he runs it, like no resistance at all. Gets like 10 to 15 yards right there, first play. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. He's still at the 42. They still got to get it a little bit to get in the field goal range. 20-some seconds. No timeouts for the Bears. No timeouts. This is good for you. No timeouts. Throw the middle of the field to Loveland. Great. Tackle him, get him right there, let time expire, and then whatever happens with the field goal happens with the field goal. Wait a minute. I said tackle him, right? No, wait a second. Jordan Battle says, let me lean the shoulder into him. Let me just lean the shoulder into him. That's going to take down a 6'4", 250-pound tight end, isn't it? No. Geno Stone says, let me just arm tackle him. That didn't work either. Whatever it was, 58 yards to the house. Colston Loveland, touchdown. Bears win. Bengals get the ball back, though, the next possession, and they throw a pick. So, they lose by 1. Once again, 2 straight weeks, they lose by 1 in a game where there's a 2-touchdown lead. Last week, they had a 2-touchdown lead on the Jets. The Jets do it to them. Looks like the Bengals are doing it to the Bears, and they blow it. Actually, I said they lost by 1. They lost by 5, but you know what I mean. I was on a roll there for a second. I blacked out.
They lost by 1 touchdown. Okay,
defense, man. And Al Golden. Like, people are like blaming Al Golden. It is not Al Golden, because guess what? Lou Anarumo out there, I mean, he's had a few weeks where he wasn't that great, but the defense for the Colts have played pretty good for most of the season. That tells me you don't have the players on that side of the ball. So who does that fall back on? Does that fall back on Al Golden? No. Does that fall back on Zac Taylor? Yes. Does that fall back on Duke Tobin? Yes. Fire them both. Get rid of them. Zac Taylor is nothing without Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow carried him to a Super Bowl a few years back, Super Bowl appearance. And now the same problems that has persisted for this Bengals team since Zac Taylor got there, since Joe Burrow got there. No offensive line and no defense. You got one player over here on defense that you're paying $30 million who hasn't played the last couple of weeks, who's not going to be there next year. The trade deadline was this past week. I don't know. Do something.
Would you have wanted them to trade away Hendrickson?
At this point, if he's not signing next year, yes.
What do you think they could have got for him, though? It's a rent a player, and he's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, they probably would have got, at best, maybe a third-round pick. At best, and that's me kind of hoping.
But at least that would have been better than nothing.
That'd be better than him walking at the end of the season to wherever he wants to, and the Bengals get nothing out of it.
Maybe he'll come to Pittsburgh and we can pair him up with TJ.
Maybe the Bengals will go out and get some people that can wrap somebody up for once.
Well, hey, you're just taking after the Terrell Austin defense and not knowing how to wrap up. But I agree. In that situation, you got to go low, bring Loveland down, let the clock run, instead of trying to, because it was Jordan Battle, that
Jordan
shoulder.
Battle.
He's not that big of a guy compared to Loveland. And I think I told you this after the game that I believe my NFC North breakout player of the year was Colston Loveland. I just didn't expect him to do it against Cincinnati. So it's very fitting that he did.
Yeah. Yeah, he broke out against Cincinnati the other day, and it's just problems all over like, if you watch Shamar Stewart play football, he doesn't know what he's doing on the field. Like, he doesn't know where he needs to be at any point in time.
I can't believe that guy was a first-round pick.
I can't either. And it's like, this is Trey Hendrickson's replacement, right? And like I said, he doesn't know where he's supposed to be at any point in time in a football game. First-round pick, though.
That's coaching.
Yeah.
That's coaching, and that's also talent scouting, too.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you don't draft that guy in the first round.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, it does go hand in hand. And Gordon, I've talked for years that I thought Zac Taylor wasn't a very good head coach. I didn't like him after the first couple of seasons.
Yes, me and you had very long conversations about that when we used to work together.
Yeah, and now he's still here because he went to the Super Bowl one time. Doug Peterson went one time, too, and won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and they still fired him.
Well, Joe Burrow dragged him kicking and screaming all the way to the Super Bowl.
And after the game, and it's bad now in the locker room now because the offensive players are starting to call out the defensive players.
And well, they should.
And they should. They should. Somebody's got to hold these guys accountable for something because the offense is doing all they can. Now, Chase Brown, after the game, was like, hey, just got to make the stop. Got to finish the game. He's talking about we're doing our jobs. They're not doing theirs, basically. Chase Brown, I've seen you drop a few passes that killed a couple of drives. Don't call out other guys in public if you're not doing your job completely as well. You haven't been the greatest this season either. Jamar Chase, he said just make one effing stop. Now, he can talk. I mean, he's backed it up all season long.
Him and T. Higgins can do all the talking they want to do.
Exactly, and that's what they need to do. They had a players-only meeting last week. It did not help for the defense. But, maybe these guys need to start calling them out publicly. Maybe they need to get into a fist fight or something in the locker room. I don't know. I don't care. But somebody's got to put up some sort of an effort for that defense the rest of this season because, man, we're wasting Joe Flacco's prime right now.
His after prime?
I mean, it's amazing, though, when you think about, like, the resurgence Flacco has had. Like, he went to Cleveland and was great. And then, stayed in Cleveland and then was awful. And then he gets traded to Cincinnati and he's great. Like, he should start calling some people out. But I think at the age of, 40? He doesn't really care. I think he's more worried about the offensive line getting him hit. You talked about people calling out the defense or just calling out players in general. I believe a couple weeks ago, someone down in Miami did that in a post-game interview and received a lot of backlash for it. So I think players are scared to do it because they don't know what backlash they'll receive either in the locker room or from the media.
But I agree that, you could get the backlash on it. But if it's the truth hurts. People are going to get mad at it. But somebody's got to call somebody out. Somebody's got to be held responsible and held accountable for the way that they're playing because it's just not up to an NFL standard right now in Cincinnati on the defensive side.
Ain't no sense of getting mad. Truth's the truth. The film don't lie.
Yeah.
If you compare up the Ohio teams, give me Cincinnati's offense and Cleveland's defense. That's a Super Bowl team right there.
I can't believe Jordan Battle still has a job.
Jordan Battle frustrates me so. And Geno Stone as well on that play, trying to arm tackle the guy. It didn't work at all. So enough of that.
You're talking about the guy in Miami that called out his team. He doesn't have no room to talk.
No.
He's played like a dumpster fire for most of the season, with the exception of what? A game and a half?
Yeah.
He's played like pure dumpster fire. And by the way, y'all was talking about the shitty game last week between the Ravens and the Dolphins. Okay, I have something to add to that because since I couldn't be here last week because I had to go to bed because I had to be up at 3:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock. What the hell was Mike McDaniels and Tua's idea throwing a fade route to Devon Achane with Kyle Hamilton covering him? You got a 5'9" running back and a 6'4" safety. And that 6'4" safety is in between the two. That's fireable and benching offense right there. Just to try it.
They did fire their G.
They didn't go deep enough into the roost. That had to be the single. That was worse than your defensive play last week.
I don't think it was. That's pretty bad.
No. Okay, your defense just doesn't have the talent. That was just a stupid decision.
Well, speaking of stupid decisions here, well, actually, I wasn't. A pick for the Raiders, 10-7 still, and they got the ball. Geno's back in.
Bo Pix is back.
Bo Pix is back and in prime form. Bo Pix is usually like the fourth quarter man. He ain't done nothing tonight. But anyways,
to be fair, that one was not his fault. But
that one wasn't his fault. That was off of Franklin's hands.
Throw 2 touchdowns in this game. He's not going to get him.
No, he's probably not going to get him. So Gordon, you may have a little bit to say about the Packers, Panthers,
Paul down.
Meow mix.
Yes.
All down.
Oh my God.
Keep pounding.
Yeah, I had to calm down my comments a little bit because they were really wild, Sunday night. My first thought was a trade proposal to Cincinnati. If you'll take Matt LeFleur, I'll take your entire coaching staff. I said, and just so you don't get gypped, I'll throw in my defensive coordinator. But I calmed down a little bit. But here's what I do want. Matt LeFleur to take his coaching play calling, give his whistle and his book to somebody else, and he is not allowed to even look at the playbook anymore. He's not allowed to talk to the quarterback. He's not allowed to do none of that stuff during the game. He has to sit on the sideline with his mouth shut and sitting down. Because he is too. Why in the Sam hell on 4th and 8 in the red zone? Why would you throw a screen pass 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage whenever you've run that screen play 4 to 10 times already, and none of them had worked? I think they got 1 yard between the 10.
Hey, they may stop them 9 times on the screenplay, Gordon, on 4th down. They won't stop them a 10th, or will they?
No, they did. They had 15 screenplays, and none of them got more than, I think, 3 yards was the most they got on one play. And then one of them was fumbled, too, but that's beside the point.
I didn't watch any of the game because, of course, there was another stupid game going on at the same time. So I just kept looking at the score, and I'm like, oh, wow. Is this really happening right now? Am I reading this right?
Yeah, I was at work, and when I got home, I watched a highlight replay, a low light replay.
Yeah.
All the failed screens.
Hey,
seriously, why would you throw okay, first of all, their strength is their defensive line. Why would you keep running middle?
I said the same thing when Kentucky played Texas a few weeks back, and they kept running the ball straight up the middle 4 straight times. Texas's strengths are defensive line, so why wouldn't we just run it right up the middle?
Yeah, well, that's what we did. And then whenever Rico Dowdle just kept running and running and running and running and running.
Raiders just missed the kick to tie the game.
No, this game is riveting.
Yeah. There was history made last week, though. Cam Little hits a 68-yard field goal for an NFL record.
Yeah, I mean, oh wow, he just barely missed that. Man. To be fair, the preseason record should count. My personal opinion. It was against Pittsburgh, and I think it should count. Now, I think it's awesome that Little actually has the record now, but I think, 70, 71-yarder comes about. They're going to, hey, get out there. So what's the touchback rule? 35-yard line? Just send him out there right away. Gain maybe 10 yards. Little range.
We're in little range. And did you see Evan McPherson? He missed a 54-yarder, and it was short during the game. And afterwards, he was like, oh, yeah, it's because we were using the quarterback ball, not the kicking ball. What? What? Why are we using different balls anyways? Come on, guys. Sounds like cheating.
And whose issue is that anyways? Whose fault is that? It's a genuine question.
I don't know. I would say probably the long snapper. I don't know.
Because what happens, like, if you have to, I forget what they call it, but fast break and say, third down, you turn the fourth down, you have no timeouts, you can't spike the ball, and you got to go out and kick a field goal. Well, they're not switching out the ball. It's just being spotted.
Yeah.
And then you're kicking it. So what's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, who's in charge of it or anything. I don't understand any of that.
I had to guess. I would say it's my favorite coach on the field, the special teams coach. One that I thought should have never been hired on my team anyways. I'm still on the Packer rant. I hate Rick Yobichia.
Boy, different feelings about our offense or special teams.
I was about to say, what a genius move by Danny Smith the other day.
Danny Smith belongs in the Pittsburgh Hall of Honor right now. Put him in the Hall of Fame because he is the smartest, at least special teams coach in the game. It might be all the gum that goes.
I was going to say, he's got like 30 pieces of gum in his mouth at any particular time.
At one point during the game, J.J. Watt and I forget who was beside him, but they're like, what kind of gum do you think Danny Smith chews? And the sideline reporter, I guess, went into their ear, and JJ was like, I don't know why they know this, but apparently it's double bubble or hubba bubble gum.
Well, I mean, so the play that we're talking about where he was a genius, Gage, go ahead and let everybody know what we're talking about here.
So it was a Steelers scored a touchdown, and then they go up for the extra point. There was an unnecessary roughness, running into the kicker. I forget what it was, but it was a 15-yard penalty nonetheless. That was to be assessed on the kickoff. Steelers took that instead of, retrying the extra point and going for two instead. Which at first I was like, just go for two. You got I'm calling it the Permane push now. You put Connor Hayward under center, Darnell Washington and Jalen Warren behind him and just push. Why not just do that, get an extra point? Like, I was kind of confused by that. But then they kick off from the 50 and Boswell kicks it out of bounds. I'm like, what the hell? Like, Boswell doesn't do that, especially from the 50. Like, that is so weird. And then they spot it at the 25 because it's, 15 yards from where the ball was kicked that it gets spotted at, 25 yards from where the ball was kicked. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. That is called knowing the rule. And that's what a good coach does. I know you guys can't really say anything about good coaching right now. No. But that's what a good coach does. You know the rule book, and you know how to find a loophole in it. And honestly, I'm all for it. If the NFL wants these stupid kickoff rules, find ways to exploit it.
And he did, and that was perfect because it is 25 yards from where it goes, where you kick it at. It's where it is. Usually it's at the 40, but with the 15-yard penalty, 25-yard line, genius. Just a loophole, and he found it, and he exploited it. Just a genius move.
It's awesome. I hope Danny Smith stays around even after he eventually, passes on. I hope his ghost stays around and they sign him to a contract to be the coordinator. And as long as Boswell stays around, God, we have automatic.
Maybe Tom Brady's company will clone Danny Smith like he cloned his dog.
It's an insane story.
No doubt. Somebody's got too much money, I think.
And too much time.
Yeah.
And not just Tom Brady having too much time. The company has too much time to figure this out.
Right. And then I was reading, it's like, he wasn't the first one. Like, Paris Hilton had a dog. Barbara Streisand had a dog cloned. And I'm like, this is getting odd. This is strange.
Can we only clone dogs? Can we clone any other animals? Can we clone humans?
Back in the 90s. But I don't think they got to humans yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
Well, that's what's going to be my main thing. Like, could you imagine, like, having a team full of 52 healthy Christian McCaffreys?
Yeah, that would be insane right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Because if he gets hurt, the next one could come up and his ACL's fine.
yeah. Or do they all get like the same injury? Like they're technically the same person, but a different person? Like,
Yeah.
how does that work out?
Yeah, I don't know how that would work out. Like, I could still have Joe Burrow. Gordon could still have Tucker Kraft. And I'd still be stuck with Zac Taylor.
I said
I'm sure his clone would be an idiot.
Okay, clone, but is it a different brain? Like it's a different person, but a different brain. So maybe you would have a dumb and smarter Zac Taylor and Zac Taylor.
I don't think that is how that would go with Zac Taylor. I don't know, but I would rather have Press Taylor right now instead of Zac Taylor. But I mean, hey, it's whatever. So last week on our picks, it wasn't good. Gage went 5-8. I went 7-6. Gordon went 8-5, bringing me to a total of 81-43-1. Gage 72-53-1. Gordon 79-46-1. Creeping up to where I'm at ever so slowly, week by week. But we've all got that one at the end, of course.
But we very well could have added another one to that one and made it a 2 if the Raiders would not have, thrown it from the 2-yard line.
The Raiders, we may get a tie here, but it's not going to affect our record here. But
Did you hear Julian Edelman after the Raiders Jaguars game? They were talking about it, and Edelman just goes, "Yeah, it doesn't surprise me Pete Carroll would throw it from the 2-yard line."
It's not the first time he's done that.
Oh my God.
So that'll bring us now into our next part of this here program, and that would be
From turf to tears, it's injury fears.
So, not a whole lot of injuries, but the main injury is my ego. Honestly, after last week, I went into last week riding a 3-game winning streak, got back up to 4-4. I was like, all right, we're riding this wave. We're coming into a matchup against a guy who is 1-7. Like, all right, this is cool. This is great. And then I'm going into the Monday Night Football game. I wish I could pull it up here. Let's see. Can we pull it up here real quick? We can. Week 9. So that was the final score. Okay. So I go into the Monday night matchup between Arizona and Dallas down about 38 points, 39 points, because I got a total of 8.6 between Zach Charbonnet and Kamani Vidal. Which, Brent, thank you for starting Vidal this week in your fantasy team. I really don't appreciate it.
Me either.
But he had finished after Sunday night. He finished with 116.2. I was like, all right, I got a chance. 2 players. They're my best players. CD, McBride. It's going to be close, but I think we can make something happen. McBride scores 16.5, 5 for 55 and a touchdown, and CD gets 15.5, 7 for 85. And I lose by less than 8 points. Drop to 4-5, bring him up to 2-7. He might have just ruined my chances at the league standings. I'm sitting at 5th, which is nice. I'm tied at 4-5. The 4 people in front of me are 6-3. Then there's a group of 4 of us at 4-5, and then 3-6 and 2-7. Kind of weird how this has worked out. Injury-wise, not a lot, but we do have a repeat player who was healthy and then is now back on the injury report. Running back for Minnesota, Aaron Jones Sr. Guy comes back from IR, plays 2 games, and now with a shoulder and toe injury was a limited practice participant on Thursday. I'm really hoping he plays. It's against Baltimore. Baltimore doesn't have the greatest defense right now, and he's also my starting running back for this week because I picked up Kyle Monangai, but he's in the flex. CeeDee Lamb is on a bye. I don't really have anyone else. I got Rashid Shaheed, who trade deadline moved to Seattle, but I'm scared because we know the top targets there, JSN, and even Torrey Horton has gotten some time. Cody White caught a touchdown last week, and that probably matters to no one except me because that's a former Steeler who I think had 2 catches in his 3 seasons in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, Aaron Jones is the only one. CD on a bye. We're currently rostering 2 defenses. We have Jacoby Myers, who moved to Jacksonville. Zach Charbonnet on the bench. This team's all over the place right now, and I'm kind of worried for the future. We also got Jordan Love on the bench, who, after last week, no longer starting until Lamar Jackson gets hurt, inevitably again. Wide receiver-wise, kind of questionable. Amon-Ra, we know he's great. But Teteroa McMillan, is making me cringe every once in a while. It's like a good game, bad game, good game, bad game. He had a mediocre game last week against Green Bay. What do you got here? 4 catches, 46 yards. Against New Orleans this week, I'm hoping for a big matchup. Projection-wise, I am projected to win 52% to 48%, 124.54 to 119.2. I would just like to add, I was projected to win by about 25 last week at the start of the week. So anything can happen. But yeah, not a lot of injuries, but the first repeat offender of the fantasy team injury season.
Nice. Gordon, you got something with the fantasy?
Yeah, Tucker Kraft was my fantasy tight end. Season ending. Stupid ass run up the middle play.
Hey, you could have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, well, Tucker Kraft scored more points. He's out for the rest of the season.
Thursday night game just ended, guys. 10-7. What a game. Thank God it's over.
Well, that was exhilarating.
Yeah.
That was a punt fest. Well, what Denver calls a punt. I saw shank after shank, and I even saw a punt squib.
I do got to give it to the Raiders defense, though. Broncos offense has been pretty well off, and they shut them down, held them to 10. I think a couple turnovers. I don't know how many sacks, if any, but great game by the defense. Offense.
I did have Troy Franklin.
He had four catches, I think it was, and a touchdown.
And a touchdown. He was projected for 9.8 and got well over that. I haven't looked. I don't know the exact score.
Anytime you get a player going over the projection, you take it in fantasy for sure.
Funny enough, You mentioned about Tyler Lockett. He was the leading receiver for the Raiders tonight.
After I trashed him there.
Well, because they Geno Smith forgot how to throw to Brock Bowers.
Yeah, 1 catch for 31 yards.
And 4 targets, wasn't it?
That I don't know. I'm just looking at the Google stat sheet.
Well, one of them I can't really tell. 2 of them I can't say is target. One of them was a throwaway, and one of them was a dirt ball. But they was in his direction.
Mm-hmm.
I can't necessarily call them targets.
No.
Yeah,
lots of sacks tonight, though. At least by the Broncos defense.
How many did Benito get?
1.5.
Okay, I know I heard his name twice, at least twice.
I think the Raiders got 4.
Let's see here. Raiders, they got 1, 2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
I got it. Look, Gino or Bo must have got to the line because they got him a lot, but I think he got back to the line a few times, which nullified him no longer as a sack.
And then we also got the Broncos side. They got Hufanga with 1, Benito with 1.5, so we're at 2.5. Malcolm Roach with 1, so 3.5. Number 96 with half. Jonathan Cooper with half. Zach Allen with 1. John Franklin Myers with half. Well, everybody up there was eating tonight.
You get a sack. You get a sack.
And my defense for my fantasy team is Denver. They got me 12 points tonight. So,
also defense scores double digits. You're good.
Yeah,
absolutely. So now let's talk about a little bit that was going on this past week. Let's talk about the trade deadline. Some big trades let's go over. Sauce Gardner to the Colts for A.D. Mitchell, a 2026 first round, and a 2027 first round pick. Gage, what did you think of when you heard Sauce Gardner is going to the Colts?
So I was in class, in my topography studio class. And of course, we're just working on a project. And I have my phone sitting right here against the laptop because trade deadline. So I'm like, I got to watch out for anything. And I have the notifications down, just like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, just like the notifications you see here. All right, pretty normal. And then a red alarms emoji, and then all capital letters, Sauce traded to Colts. I'm like, huh? No, there's no way. So, of course, you got to do a little bit of Googling because you can't believe everything you hear on Bleacher Report. Who said that? But anyways, I Googled it, and I was like, my God. And at the time, they just said 2 first-round picks. It's like, that's it? It seems like there could have been a little bit more. Kind of weird. I guess that's what happens when you get kind of beat down by a Mike Tomlin offense. You go out and you trade the farm for a player who you hope is good. Is Sauce worth 2 first-round picks and a player? It's a question to be desired. I'm sure Jets fans are happy. They had a fire sale going on. But I surprised the heck out of me. That is for sure.
Yeah, Gordon, do you think that maybe they traded A.D. Mitchell in this because he threw the ball down before he went across the goal line a few weeks ago, and they're like, all right, that's it?
Might have a little bit to do with it. Actually, with the way their defense is and the way the defense is coached, I think Sauce Gardner is going to do good. And do good in Indy.
Yeah, he was pretty good under Robert Sala's defense over there in New York. He kind
Yeah.
of struggled a little bit this year, though.
And the
Yeah.
defense he's going to is similar.
Yeah. And that wasn't all that the Jets did. Quinnen Williams is traded to Dallas for Maisie Smith, a 2026 first-round pick, and a 2027 first-round pick. Guys, what do you think about Dallas going and getting a defensive lineman for 2 first-round picks? They wouldn't do that, would they?
They got a pass rusher.
We've been saying for a little bit, if only they had a pass rusher, if only they had a pass rusher. I was more flabbergasted, I think, by this one than I was by a Sauce trade. Jerry Jones did say after the last game that, hey, there's possibility I could pull off a trade. I just don't know if it'll happen. And he made it happen. At first, we all thought the trade was Logan Wilson for a 7th rounder. Like, okay, cool. That's all that's going to happen. And then that one comes, it's like, huh? And you give up Mozzie Smith, who I didn't think was horrible. And you give up 2 first-round picks. I think they got the earlier first-round pick of this year's, I believe it was, or next year's. I think this year's. So you gave up a lot to get him.
Yeah. Gordon, what do you think about that?
Honestly, I think Jerry overpaid a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. I think a first, a third, and the player should have been enough for Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, probably so. A little bit of overpayment there, but the Jets, they're making deals. They're adding up picks, but what do you do with those picks is the question next for the Jets. That'll all depend on who wins these trades or not.
They have 3 quarterbacks. You might get one.
I feel like they fire sale, the entire team, except for Breece Hall. Breece gets screwed. You stay here. Sorry about that.
And Garrett Wilson.
And Garrett Wilson.
Poor Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
You get to stay here with the rest of this team. But hey, we've got A.D. Mitchell for you guys.
They're like, thanks.
And then you mentioned a while ago, Gage, Rashid Shaheed traded to the Seahawks for a 4th and a 5th round pick in next year's draft. I know you were saying that most of the targets are going to go to JSN, but they're going to have to focus on Shaheed as well, too, now. So you can't just double team JSN over here. And if you do, Shaheed's going to eat over here.
Oh, yeah. And he, has a quarterback now. He's not dealing with Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck. He's got a quarterback who I believe I read a stat earlier. Sam Darnold has become the first quarterback in NFL history to have over 2,000 yards, 15-plus touchdowns, and over a 70% completion percentage rate through the team's first 8 games of the season. Where, we thought Darnold was doing good last year. He's even better this year with JSN. Now you add a deep threat, because let's be honest, they didn't really have a deep threat. You had Torrey Horton, who he's got speed, but they didn't use him a lot. Mm-hmm. And now you add this guy who, when he was with the Saints, he was known for the deep ball. That's all his touchdowns were. There was no 8-yard slant. All right, touchdown. No, it's 50, 60, 70, even 80-yard bombs that he can take to the house, and you're going to score a lot of points. I'm just worried to start him every week because teams are going to figure that out.
Yeah, and Seattle now becomes like kind of a dark horse contender over there in the NFC. I think they're now maybe the favorites in my eyes in the West.
Yeah, and if you would have said that at the beginning of the season to us, I think we would have laughed at you.
I think on our predictions we had them like 3rd in the West, just above, and maybe even last. I can't remember. I thought we might have been a little bit higher on the Cardinals than what we were.
Yeah, and boy, has that backfired on them.
Yeah, no doubt. Jacoby Myers traded to the Jags for a 25th round and 6th round pick.
The law firm, Jacoby and Myers.
Yeah, so the Jaguars get another weapon over there for them for Trevor Lawrence.
That makes me question the future of Brian Thomas Jr. Because I thought with that they were absolutely going to move him.
Yeah, I guess they're going to try to pair them together there. Maybe a 1 and 2 receiver and Travis Hunter's the 3rd man over there. Maybe they're going to play him on defense more. I don't know.
And they go to Washington more than they do Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas is on my fantasy team. Trust me, he gets damn near nothing every week.
Well, that's why.
No, on the bench or not. Now, 1 week he did. He was on the bench. But most time he gets 4, 6. Sometimes he has a breakout game and he scores 7.5.
So, and then Logan Wilson to the Cowboys for a 7th round pick. That's whatever on that. And there was a few more trades, but, those were the big ones there this past week. I mean, it was busy on Tuesday afternoon with all these trades.
Yeah. Except for in Green Bay, Wisconsin. They didn't do a damn thing.
or Pittsburgh.
And the Bengals did one thing, and that was trade away a guy that they never played. So I thought that they may have traded away Cam Taylor-Britt as well, but that didn't happen. So I feel like they should have traded away, Zac Taylor, but nobody wanted that. Anyways.
Rightfully so.
Believe it or not, I would have took Cam Taylor-Britt just if I weren't buying it's actually a fun corner. We've got 4 right now. I think Nate Hobbs is injured again. And let me repeat, again. We've got 3 corners. We got 1 masquerading as a corner that was a wide receiver the last couple years. And we got 5 safeties. I mean, seriously, really? What kind of Candyland bullshit is this? I mean, 4 corners. That's it. That's all you're going into the season with. You're carrying 2 kickers on an active roster.
2 kickers on the active roster. What is
the guy they had whenever
Big 10?
Yeah, the one whenever our kicker first got the quad injury, Luke Havers, when we brought him up, but they're afraid that he's going to tear his quad again like Triple H, and that we're going to end up having. And so no other team will pick him up because he went out there in a fire drill and kicked a 61-yarder in Lambeau Field. Why ain't he kicking right now anyways?
There's definitely some teams that could use him.
I know you like Brandon McManus, but he's got torn and he missed a fucking 40-yarder. Put him on IR, let him sit there and let him stew. Put the other guy in and sign a cornerback that can actually cover someone that's not me. All right, I'm done.
All right. Hey, Gordon, I'm just going to let you know, don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel, all right? All right. So,
I will try.
This is like NFL therapy.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's group therapy right here. I mean, trust me, I need it after every Sunday. I don't have to worry about it this Sunday because my team don't have to play. So that's a good thing. I don't have to watch them blow a lead or whatever. So, I mean, hey, I know what
I will say this. If Green Bay, even though he come off neck fusion surgery, he's been cleared to play. They better go after Asante Samuel Jr. and at least give it a damn shot.
Why not?
Yeah.
Be worth a shot.
We talked about this the other day, Brent, and that was just rumor. But he's 26 years old, and he's young enough to recover from it. At least you better at least try.
He is scheduled to, I believe, visit 6 different teams, and Packers and Steelers are 2 of them.
Yeah, he visited 1 today, and he's supposed to visit Green Bay tomorrow.
You didn't mention the team, Gage.
To be fair, I don't have the list pulled up. I just typed his name in, and I see 2 headlines: Packers, Steelers.
Yeah. Kind of figured he wasn't going to visit the Bengals because why would they want a defensive player? Why would they do that?
That's kind of crazy, don't you think, that they would want to bring him in?
Yeah, that's silly talk. I mean, you've got guys like Jordan Battle back there in the secondary. Why would you need anybody else?
I'll tell you what. I'll trade you my so-called for your safety. We only got 5. We could use 6. He's got to be able to cover better than the converted wide receiver to.
Oh, hey, he might be able to cover, but he's not going to be able to wrap up. I'll tell you that right now.
It's good for you because the guy that we got, he can tackle because he does on special teams, but he can't cover a damn thing.
The other teams, so it's Steelers, Packers, Panthers, Vikings, Bears, Niners. So, yeah, sorry, Brent.
He visited the Panthers today, I think. That's what it was.
I could see him probably signing with the Panthers. I mean, which one of these is not like the other? Hey, but anyways, whatever. So before we get into our picks, guys, since we've talked here, there has been a World Series champion. The Dodgers defeated the Blue Jays 4-3. And man, what a Game 7 that was. I didn't watch all of it because Kentucky was playing Auburn in a wonderful 10-3 win for Kentucky on Saturday night. But when I picked it up in the 7th inning, from that point on, I think I turned in at the right time. I did miss the benches clearing brawl that happened for no apparent reason, really. But from that point on, what a game that was. What a managerial job by Dave Roberts. He made every move correctly that he needed to make, and he looked like a genius. I mean, you see why he is one of the best managers in the league after that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, not just what a game, but what a series. None of us thought it was going to go all 7.
Nope.
Well, he is a genius. He's a great ball manager, but the largest payroll doesn't hurt.
No,
it doesn't. But at the same time, he made the moves when he needed to make them too with the players, because even with that payroll, the Blue Jays had the lead. Miguel Rojas comes up there and hits a home run to tie the game in the top of the 9th. In the bottom of the 9th, he brings in Pages into center field, and Rojas makes a play at second base, throws it to Will Smith, and the toe tap to get him out was crazy because you thought the Blue Jays were scoring the winning run right here, and they didn't. And then the very next play, Pages runs into Kiki Hernandez out there that Dave Roberts just brought in Pages for this play. Like, he knew exactly what was needed to be done right here, and Pages makes the play. They go into extras after that, and then Will Smith in the summertime, welcome to Miami, getting jiggy with it out there, home run in the top of the 11th, and to bring in Yamamoto after pitching the day before and bringing him in relief, loads the bases up twice, and still pulls off the win. Actually, he didn't load it up the second time, but it was runners on first and third. But yeah.
But right there, it's like, if Yamamoto says he wants to go, do it. You have nothing to lose. It's game 7. It is literally the last game of the season. Yeah. They got until February. Spring training comes around. So why not?
Yeah, why not? And I mean, they've got the largest payroll, and then you've got Dave Roberts out here, managing like, crazy. It's not fair, guys. It's not fair to have both.
But, and Dodgers might have won the World Series. But Blue Jays, one player set a record. Ernie Clement, 30 postseason hits, most in MLB history. Now, that helps when one of your games goes 18 innings, and you get basically a whole nother game out of it. But still, 30 hits in the postseason, setting a record. What else we got here? Also holds Will Smith, yeah.
For catching. Most innings caught in a World Series.
Yeah.
Every inning. That's crazy. But yeah. So the Dodgers win another World Series. How would you feel to be a Blue Jays fan right now after that? Like, you got to be sick. 2 outs. 1 out. And Jeff Hoffman, former Red, gives up the home run to a Reds minor leaguer, Miguel Rojas. Who had that one on their bingo card?
As a Jeff Hoffman owner in fantasy baseball this past season, who ended up getting dropped when he went on EIL, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, me either. But so that ends baseball there. But I figure we touch on it a little bit here because of what an amazing World Series we had right there this past year. I mean, definitely. And next year when the Reds are in it, facing the Orioles or whoever, I mean, it's going to be
Guardians.
The Guardians, the Battle of Ohio in the World Series. So
that would be awesome, actually. I mean, that would be awesome.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead.
Pittsburgh will never make the postseason, so it's fine. I don't have to worry.
You just hate watch like I do. Like, come on, don't let the Dodgers win. And like every time I was like, don't let the Dodgers win, and the Dodgers win. Whatever. So we'll start off with our pick'ems and let's get to it. The Falcons and the Colts. I put at, but it's not at. Falcons against the Colts at 9:30 on the NFL Network. Live from Berlin. He's a 6.5-point favorite. Gage, what do we think here in this one? Colts coming off a loss.
Well, I think you put at because Colts are technically the home team in this one. Kind of sucks. You travel overseas. It's not a home game. Like, it's literally all NFL fans are going to that game because they're like, oh my God, we're over here now. We're going to get it out of the way early. We're going to go with the underdog pick of the week. We're going to go with the Falcons in this one. I think Pittsburgh exposed Daniel Jones last week. They narrowed in on Jonathan Taylor. Like, I think I said that on the podcast. That's what you have to do. Narrow in on Jonathan Taylor, you're going to get the Danny Dimes. And that's exactly what they did. Falcons do that again this week and do a good job covering the A and the B gaps against JT. They're going to force Daniel Jones to throw. And we saw what happened last week when they forced Daniel Jones to throw. Multiple turnovers, strip sack, interceptions. It's just on the offense of the Falcons to capitalize on that because Steelers didn't do that great of a job capitalizing on turnovers, but that's besides the point. So yeah, give me the Falcons in this one in an early upset to begin Sunday morning.
Wow, already kicking it off with the upset pick of the week. Gordon, who you got in this one?
I'm going the opposite. Cause you turn in on Jonathan Taylor and you can get to Daniel Jones. But if you got someone taking Drake London away, Michael Penix will start throwing picks. And I do believe that's going to be Sauce Gardner's assignment. You got to become number 5 shadow. They'll be going down the sideline singing Me and My Shadow, going all the way down the sideline because he's going to be right there with him all the way. I've got a bounce back game. Colts are going to be pissed off that they got their asses whooped the week before, courtesy of the Steelers pick. And Colts are going to get back and they'll actually cover that. I got Colts winning by at least 7.
Colts, I'm with you on this one, Gordon. I think the Colts bounce back this week. The Falcons, we really don't know what we get week to week with the Falcons, all right? They've got a good defense most times. I mean, they give up 34 to the Dolphins a couple of weeks ago, but that was Kirk Cousins, quarterback, and I mean, they weren't really, good on the offensive end. So I don't know. You got to get Bijan a little bit more involved, though, if you're the Falcons. Remember when you got Bijan involved before the Falcons? They beat down the Bills when they got Bijan involved. Also, he's my fantasy running back, so get him involved. I don't think they will get him involved enough once again. Colts bounce back this week. Jonathan Taylor has a big week against the Falcons. Sauce Gardner makes a difference on defense this week, I believe. As Gordon mentioned on Drake London there. Give me the Colts and give me the cover in this one.
I'm just happy to get it out of the way.
So that brings us now to our 1 o'clock slate. And the Browns travel to New Jersey to face the Jets at 1 o'clock on CBS. Cleveland's a 2.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do we think here? 2.5 points.
Well, the Jets just had a fire sale. They got rid of Sauce Gardner, and they got rid of Quinnen Williams.
And Quincy.
They got rid of Quincy, too?
They just benched him.
Oh, well, okay. Well, one of them say, well, if you're going to trade him, I don't want to play no more.
Basically.
Okay, anyways. So, basically, Dylan Gabriel's going to have an extra 3, 4, 5 seconds to throw the ball. I got the Browns win. They're underdogs, believe that or not. At least they was.
No, Browns.
No, now they're
Yeah, they're favorite.
I'm sorry, I looked Monday, and they were underdogs still. But I guess after the fire sale,
Yeah.
I got Cleveland winning and no cover.
Gage.
Right there with them. The Jets gave away the only 2 good pieces on their defense and didn't give away anything on the offense, surprisingly, but it's not going to matter. Browns defense, we know how good they are. And as long as if the Browns score 17, I think they win. Give me Cleveland in this one. That is awful to say, but I think they cover as well.
I think you've got to hammer Cleveland at -2.5, right? I mean, you've got to hammer that one. I mean, that is really low, I feel like, especially after the fire sale.
And
The
take
Jets 2 weeks ago beat the Bengals to get their first win. Then they have a bye. They're feeling like they got a little bit of momentum, They scored 39 points. Everything looks good. And then they go and have a fire sale on Tuesday before their next game. Yeah, so, I mean, and the Browns defense, one of the best ones in the NFL. Dylan Gabriel, he's playing a little bit better now. He's going against a Jets team without all the defensive players. Jets still got some players on offense, but it's not going to matter this week because of that defense. Give me the Browns. I think they cover easily in this game. Next matchup, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars head to Texas to face the Houston Texans. 1 o'clock on CBS. Jacksonville is a 1.5-point favorite on the road. Gage, what are we thinking here?
I think the reason that the Jaguars are the favorite is because if I remember right, CJ Stroud is out. Yeah, CJ Stroud is out. So it's long neck Davis Mills to be the starter. This is going to go one of 2 ways. Again, I say it every week. We know how good the Texans defense is, but can that defense help sustain this pitiful offense that Davis Mills is going to be leading? I would like to take the Texans to win this one, but I don't think I can. I think the Jaguars are going to win. I think they're going to cover, but it's going to be, I don't know what the over-under is for this game, but I would take the under in it. So give me the Jaguars, give me the points.
39.5. Gordon, what you got?
I initially took the Texans, but I was not aware C.J. Stroud was going to be out.
Concussion.
But for some reason, I'm still going to take him because the Jaguars ain't showed me shit of consistency.
Hey, Jacoby Myers is going to be the difference maker.
Jacoby Myers, attorney at law. Maybe C.J. Stroud needs to hire him to sue the offensive line for letting me get the crap beat out of him every week. But no, I think Davis Mills, I think it's going to be a Nico Collins day.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
Nico Collins is going to look like Jamar Chase as far as stat line.
If Davis Mills was smart, yeah, that's what he would do. But I've got Jacksonville in this one. I'm with Gage here. Jacoby Myers makes his debut. C.J. Stroud being out, I think, is going to be the difference because of Davis Mills in there. They still haven't really got a running game going for Houston because the line's not good at all on an offensive line. Like you said, Stroud's getting hit a lot. He's concussed. The defense is really good. Jacksonville inconsistent at best, but I think this is one of the games where they get it because they're going against Davis Mills. Give me the Jags. Give me the Jags to cover as the road favorites. Our next matchup, the Buffalo Bills travel to Miami to face the Miami Dolphins at 1 o'clock on CBS. Buffalo is a 9.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do we think here?
I'm taking them to cover, but it seems like every time I'm severely confident in them to cover, they have one of them Atlanta Falcon games. But I'm still taking them to cover. I got the Bills, Miami, and besides, every time I think of Miami, I think of that dumbass play trying to hit Devon Achane on a fade over Kyle Hamilton. Because that was just stupid.
Gage, what do we think here?
Originally, I had taken this game to be my underdog pick of the week, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to throw another shot at the Colts. So we're not going to do 2 underdog picks of the week. We're going to play it smart, hopefully. It's going to turn out with a Miami win. But give me the Bills in this one. But I'm going to take the Dolphins to cover. 9.5 is a lot. It's a divisional matchup. Especially at the AFC East, they always play each other pretty close. So give me a Bills win. Dolphins cover that 9.5.
And isn't it kind of funny, like every time an NFC or an AFC East team goes down to Miami, some weird stuff happens, right? Like Miami beat Brady quite a bit down in Miami. Buffalo struggles when they go down to Miami. Is it the same?
Safety in Miami.
Yeah. Is it the same thing going to happen this week? Maybe. This is a prime spot where it could happen. The Bills are coming off of a big win. This is a key moment where it could be a letdown this week because they just beat the Chiefs last week. 5th straight time they beat them in the regular season. The Dolphins, they're kind of down. But this could be a spot where Miami comes out and wins this game. But Mike McDaniel's still coaching over there and Tua's still quarterbacking. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills in this one. But give me a Miami cover in this one, as I think it'll be close because Buffalo's kind of going to come out sluggish to begin the game and then realize, oh, wait, we're in a battle here. And then they'll kind of win by a touchdown, I think.
And we talked about the trade deadline. Jalen Waddle remaining in Miami. Well, I think one of the most surprising moves. I think everyone expected him to be traded, and he's still down there. He's still catching hospital balls from Tua and, hopefully trying to score some points.
So our next 1 o'clock matchup, and this one looks pretty good, guys. The New England Patriots travel to Tampa to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1 o'clock on CBS. Tampa Bay is a 2.5-point favorite. Gordon, who you like?
Because it's Mike Vrabel and the fact that they still have not given up a 50-yard rusher this season. They play good defense, and the offense is doing pretty good. I am taking the road dog, Jesse James, Patriots. Throw it in there for you, Brent.
I'm getting to it after a while, but hey, there we go. Gage, what do you think?
I'm gonna tail Gordon on this one. I think the Patriots. I think the only reason Tampa Bay's favorite is because it's in Tampa, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. We all love, I think, this Tampa Bay offense. Defense is a little but the Patriots, for whatever reason, Drake May has turned it on this year. Still trying to find a run game. Still don't know who the starter is with people injured, people hurt, and Travion Henderson out there. And he's still, for the record, still in the free agency on the fantasy league. I'm not going back to pick him up. And he's projected, I think, 13.2. I don't care. Even with Zach Charbonnet, Kamani Vidal, and all that trash. But, yeah, I'm going to trail him. Give me the Patriots, and obviously with that, they cover.
Yeah, the Patriots looking to win their 7th straight game in a row. Somehow the Raiders beat them in week 1. I don't know how that happens, right? Looking at the teams now. Drake May's really coming on. Patriots defense, Gordon said, haven't give up a rusher, let a rusher get 50 yards on them. Buccaneers coming off of a bye at home. Getting a few people healthy, not enough people healthy, though. Bucky Irvin's still not back. A lot of injuries still. Chris Godwin's still out. Emeka Ibuka. Give me Tampa Bay in this one. I think Tampa Bay wins. I think Tampa Bay covers this spread. They win by a field goal at home. Give me the Bucs to win this one here.
And the one thing we didn't mention, the Falcons-Patriots game last week. Patriots won by 1 point because Parker Romo missed an extra point. And then because of that, the Falcons are now on their 3rd kicker of the season with Zane Gonzalez.
I feel bad for Tony. He's doing these games all the time. Then his son goes out and misses the kick for the Falcons there to tie the game for him. So got to feel bad for Tony over there. You just know the emotions he's going through watching that on his phone while he's doing the game.
But you got to figure Romo, not being clutch. Gee, who would have thought?
It's in the genes, right?
Thunk it.
Our next 1 o'clock matchup, the New York Giants travel to Chicago to face the Chicago Bears. 1 o'clock on Fox. Chicago's a 4.5-point favorite at home. Gage, what are we thinking here?
Yeah, after Chicago put up an extremely large amount of points last week against a very bad defense, they're going against another very bad defense this week. I feel bad for Jackson Dart. Man, that kid just has nothing helping him out. It kind of feels the way of the Giants' luck just recently here in recent years. I'm going to go with the Bears. 4.5. I'll take them to cover as well. I don't think they put up nearly as many points as they do last week, but I still think they get in the these Giants maybe in the 20s if they're lucky. Give me Chicago. Give me the cover.
Gordon, what do you think?
This is my underdog pick of the week.
Oh,
Got
man.
the Giants. Obviously, the Bears defense ain't that great either. I think this is going to come down to the last possession. Now, Giants defense is a little better than the one they played last week. Not much, but a little bit. So I got the Giants, and I hope Wan'Dale Robinson gets a lot of damn catches and touchdowns because I'm at last resort on my receivers, and he's one of my healthy ones.
So you said the Bears, they're facing a better defense than they did last week. Well, the Bears also are facing a worse offense than they did last week as well. The Giants' offense is nowhere near what the Bengals' offense is.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Especially with all the injuries over there on that side of the ball. Jackson Dart, like you said, he's got Wan'Dale. He's got Darius Slayton. Tyrone Tracy's out there somewhere.
Theo
Jackson.
Theo Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't feel too good about those weapons right there. This could be a prime spot once again for a letdown for the Bears. You're at home. You just come off a big win last week. Your offense looked great, and your running game got going really good. Can you keep it up this week? I don't know if they can or not. I think the Bears win this game, but I think the Giants cover. I think it's going to be closer than what it is. They're going to be in a really tight battle into the fourth quarter, making the Bears fans get worried, nervous again like they was last week in Cincinnati when they got down by 1. But they ultimately pull it off. Give me the Bears to win. Give me a Giants cover.
My thing is the Giants do have 2 pass rushers on that line. Brian Burns and Sexy Dexy. Dexter Lawrence.
Yep. Thibodeau, he's over there on it too. So the next matchup we got those Baltimore Ravens, dude, travel to Minnesota to face the Minnesota Vikings at 1 o'clock on Fox. Baltimore is a 4.5-point favorite on the road. Gage, what are we thinking here?
Part of me wants to take a hate pick, and part of me wants to make a real pick. I think I'm going to go with the real pick. Gosh, I'm still not sold on the Vikings offense. Aaron Jones got more involved last week, but again, he's questionable. So who knows if he's going to play or if Jordan Mason's going to get the start. But J.J. McCarthy still, I think he had 3 total touchdowns last week, 2 passing, 1 rushing. I don't know. I'm just scared. He scares me. He's basically a rookie, so he's still going to make rookie mistakes. And you know what? I'm willing to take the loss on this one if it means the Vikings win. Give me the Ravens in this one. Give me the points. I hope Lamar has a game like he had last week because my fantasy quarterback position would love that.
Same. Gordon, what do you think?
I agree. I got the Ravens, and I got them covering. I don't think the Vikings can stop Derrick Henry if he gets going, and I believe he's going to get going. Another Lamar Jackson's leg getting a little healthier. They're going to do some of that option where they're going to have to choose. You're going to try to take Lamar down. You're going to go after Derrick Henry, and they're going to make the wrong choice too many times. It's going to be a big running game. I predict about 200 and at least 225 yards rushing between the two of them. Between the two. Between Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, about 225 yards rushing. I got the Ravens winning, and I got them covering.
So last week, Baltimore, they beat Miami, dominant fashion, looking like the Ravens from last year in the regular season and everything. The Vikings go into Detroit and beat the Lions coming off of a bye. The Lions team, you mentioned if Derrick Henry can get going rushing, they'll win this easily because Minnesota won't be able to stop them. They only give up 65 rushing yards last week to the Detroit Lions running backs, Gibbs and Montgomery. Montgomery also had a fumble in that game. On offense, J.J. McCarthy, 143 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Not too impressed. Like I said, I mean, this looks like his Michigan numbers. Me and Gage, we've kind of disagreed a little bit on J.J. McCarthy. He thinks he may turn into something. I don't see it yet. I mean, but you never know. It's early. But the kid wins, right? All he does is win so far. So I'm going to go with the underdog pick here for me. Give me the Minnesota Vikings at home. I think the Vikings cover, of course, because they're the home dogs. But give me Minnesota. Maybe this is a hate pick, dude, but that's what I'm going to go with. And I'll just let it roll and see what happens after that.
The comment you're going to get is going to be great.
Oh, there's no doubt there's going to be a comment if Baltimore wins this. I just know it. Well, the next matchup we've got, the last 1 o'clock matchup of the week. It's the New Orleans Aints, New Orleans Saints, and at the Carolina Panthers at 1 o'clock on Fox. Carolina's a 5.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do we think here?
I hate to say it. I got the Panthers covering. They're at home.
Woo!
I got no hatred. My team played like hot shit.
I
It's
mean,
LeFleur's fault.
I got to agree with that one. Tyler Shuck last week in his first start. Tyler sucks. My bad. That's mispronunciation. He didn't play horrible. I mean, rookie first start against a Rams defense who is very, very good. 62.5 completion percentage, 176 passing yards, a touchdown pick, 81.3 rating. Like I said, not horrible. And we know the Panthers defense, we played for last week, is not that good. But I'm going to roll with the Panthers here. I think they go paw town, pound town, whatever you want to call it, all over the Saints. And they bring in the Panthers podcast is happy for 2 weeks.
I don't know what kind of town we're going to here, but
I don't know if you want to cut that or not.
No, it's staying in. It's definitely staying in.
Give me the Panthers.
I'm with you here. The Saints, Tyler Shuck, like we said, I mean, he's living up to the name we've given him on here. And the Panthers, they go and they get a win at Green Bay. Is this a prime spot for a letdown? I mean, this could be a theme this week. It very well could be, but it's at home. The Panthers are at home once again. And the Panthers just don't lose at home. They're not losing this week to a Rashid Shaheed-less Saints. Give me the Panthers in this one. And give me them to cover because they're going to pound them, I guess, right? I mean, we'll just say that, all right? Oh, man. So I gotta straighten up here. I got to calm down. All right. Our next matchup we're going to go to, and it's going to be a 4:05 matchup. And it is the Arizona Cardinals traveling up northwest to face the Seattle Seahawks at 4:05 on CBS. Seattle's a 6.5-point favorite. They got some new toys up there. Gage, what do we think here?
Yeah, Seattle has some new toys, and Cardinals lost a little bit of toys. They got a vintage toy in there at quarterback. Tyler Murray today placed on the IR. Will miss at least the next 4 games. That means it is a Jacoby Brissett team. Tell you what, though, the time that Jacoby has played so far this season has not been bad. And I almost think that even if Kyler was clear to go, this should be Jacoby's team. He's completed 65% of passes so far this season, 860 yards, 6 touchdowns to only 1 pick, 102.5 rating. Last week, arguably his best game, best completion percentage, a lot of yards, 261, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. You have to wonder, is this going to be a close game? He loves using Trey McBride, which I love. He loves using Marvin Harrison. The run game, though, is my biggest concern. I said last week that Bam Knight would be the starter this past week against the Cowboys, and Imari DiMercado got a lot more touches than Bam Knight. So they don't really know what they're doing there. They don't really have a true number one. They kind of just ride the hot hand. Seattle, already mentioned. You got Shaheed now. You got JSN. Torrey Horton's still back there. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Sam Darnold, who is on a record-setting pace right now. All signs point to Seattle. I'm going to do it. Give me Seattle, and I think they cover.
Gordon, what do you think?
I've actually got the Seahawks covering like Gage, but all this talk about how good they are, and which they are, they're great. I watched them last week. That was some superb passing I saw last week. Kind of made me a little jealous that my team can't call like that. Anyways, but I'm still taking the Seahawks, but in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there thinking this is a perfect time for a letdown. Everybody's patting them on the back, telling them how good they are, and then they end up getting dog walked. I don't think it's going to happen this week. Although Marvin Harrison Jr. finally woke up and had a decent game. Once again, he's on my fantasy team, so I know he actually had a decent game because he actually scored more than 14 points. So, but no, I got the Seahawks winning. I don't think Shaheed's going to have much of an impact. But I think JSN will probably have the biggest impact today. Last week it was Torrey Horton. He had the biggest impact.
Yeah.
Because they was doubling JSN, which was leaving him in single coverage with the backup safety most of the time. So he was smoking them down the field. They're going to revert that a little bit, try to bracket both. And if you bracket JSN, he's going to get open.
Well, JSN still had 8 catches, 129 yards last week. He led the team. I mean,
Yeah.
But, I mean, they just beat Washington. I mean, easily. 38-14. Wasn't much of a game. You got the shiny new toy up there, that Sam Darnold could throw deep passes to. Still got JSN. The Arizona Cardinals looked good on offense last week, but who were they playing? They were playing the Dallas Cowboys, right? So that's maybe why they looked a little bit better. Marvin Harrison Jr. woke up because Jacoby Brissett's like, hey, this guy is a weapon, and I'm going to use him because I'm a decent quarterback. They asked Jonathan Gannon about who was going to be starting quarterback, and he said, even if Kyler Murray was back, I'm rolling with Jacoby Brissett. And it's like, wow, okay. So, man, I think his time's about over there in Arizona. With that being said, though, I think Seattle wins this game, and I think that they cover. They're just on a roll right now. It could be a letdown, but it could be a letdown for the Cardinals, too, because they feel like they had a big win last week at Dallas. And you got travel. It's a divisional game. It's going to be closer a little bit, but I think Seattle wins by at least 10.
And Brent, you mentioned it last week that, what game's coming out soon? Like Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 or 7. Like Kyler's going to be focused on that for a while.
Yeah, he said, my knee's hurting. I need to go sit on the couch for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Got to get a head start.
Yeah. Got to get there when it comes out midnight release here in the next weeks. Our next matchup, 425. This matchup does not look as good as it probably did a couple of weeks ago. The Detroit Lions travel to Landover, Maryland to face the Washington Commanders at 425 on Fox. Detroit is an 8.5-point favorite. Gage, what do we think here?
You talk about the Commanders, Jaden Daniels not beating the RG-esque allegations. I feel bad for the guy. He should not have been out there playing. Horrible, horrible coaching by Dan Quinn. A lot of similarities between his injury and the RG3 injury. Same stadium, same yard line, same down. There's too much common practice, you want to call it.
Worst field in the NFL, sorry.
Yeah, no, worst with Pittsburgh right behind them.
Yeah.
So the Lions, I have a text conversation here. I've mentioned my roommate last year was a Lions fan. 4:16 on Sunday, I just get Lions just don't have it this year. And I replied, at least the Packers lost. And he goes, but the Vikings won. So I made him feel better and said, and Chicago just nailed a walk-off tutty. And he may have dropped the F-bomb after that. So the Lions, I don't know what's going on, but I don't think they're going to have any issues this week. Marcus Mariota's a starter for the Commanders, and no one's looking forward to that. Give me the Lions. I'm going to take them to cover as well.
Gordon.
I got the Lions winning in a boat race. I can't put it any simpler than this. Without Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota, I've said it before. He's okay. He's back up for a reason. He was a great college quarterback, but that's where it stopped. He was good for a quarter when he got drafted to the Titans at 2nd overall, but he ain't been worth a shit since. He has his moments, but the sun shines on his dog's ass every now and then. So give me the Lions. I'll give you 17 to 20 points, and we'll call it a day.
Yes, so Detroit's coming off of a loss at home, off of a bye. They're going to want to come out and prove a point. And what a perfect time to prove a point here than a team that is wounded. Jaden Daniels is out. Should have never been in the game, down 38-7. And you still got him playing in the game. Hurts his elbow, probably out for the season. The second coming of RG3, unfortunately, is what it's looking like right now. Bill Merritt, I picked him up in fantasy, and he's done nothing. Christopher Rodriguez is leading the team in rushing, former Kentucky Wildcat, Mini Benny. We got that. But that's not who you want to be leading in your rushing. Marcus Mariota, decent backup. Good when you need him to come in. You don't want him to lead for a full season, for the rest of the season. Like I said here, Detroit are going to come out firing. They're going to run the ball a lot this time. They're going to pass the ball a lot. There's going to be a lot of points scored for the Lions. I got the Lions winning. and I got the Lions covering too. I just don't see the Commanders keeping this very close at all without Jaden Daniels. And that'll take us to our last 425 matchup. And it's a rematch from a couple of weeks ago. The LA Rams travel to San Francisco to face the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are a 4.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do we think here?
They got Puka Nacua back. Now, I got Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team, but I don't think he's enough. And they got George Kittle back. I got the Rams winning and covering. I mean, they're both in California. It's not like either team goes to the other stadium. It's technically an away game, but really it's not. I mean, if you can drive there in less than an hour, it ain't that much. It ain't that much of an inconvenience to go. So I got the Rams winning, and I got them covering.
Gage, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with that as well. I think a part of the Rams game as a whole that has gone very under the radar has been their defense. Really good defense, lots of sacks, and no one talks about it. Byron Young, 27 years old, 8 games. He has 9 sacks so far this season. He should have had 10 last week, but it was called back due to a defensive penalty. So otherwise, he'd be at double digits. One of the things that surprises me, Stafford, I think, will go down as one of the most underrated quarterbacks in NFL history. And I think it's just because he spent most of his time in Detroit when they sucked. And he tried all he could, and it just didn't work out. The way he's able to do the no-look pass right now, better than Mahomes ever could. All right, better than he ever could. The game last week against the Saints, I forget who was calling it, but he did one, and they actually did a breakdown of how he's doing. He's like, yeah, he's looking over here, trying to move the safety, looks back this way, and then flings it back to where the safety was. It's just cool to see. One of the big problems in his game, though, is he already has 5 fumbles on the season. That's a lot for a quarterback to have for a full season, let alone, 8-9 games in. So that's something to watch out for, but I don't think it's going to be effective much this week. I'm going to go with the Rams. Give me the favorites and give me them to cover as well.
So a few weeks ago, these two teams met up in LA, and both quarterbacks threw for well over 300 yards. Kendrick Bourne had like 140-some yards receiving, his biggest game to date that he had. It's probably his career high, probably, most likely. I don't think he ever got that in New England. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he did. But
probably never got that in the season.
Yeah. So, and then Puka, like you said, he's back for how long? Seems like every time I put him in a bet slip, like in the second half, something happens with Puka. But if he plays a full game, he's going to hit everything you've put him in for. Catches, yards. I mean, the guy just all around the ball all the time. What about the resurgence that Devontae Adams has had with Matt Stafford this year? He's really looking like the Devontae Adams of old and not an old Devontae Adams like he has the last few years. I think the Rams get some revenge this week against the 49ers, Mac Jones, and I hope it's another game like it was last time because that was entertaining. But I think the Rams get the revenge this week. Give me the Rams. Give me the Niners cover. I think that the Rams return the favor and just win by a field goal like the Rams did, or like the Niners did on the Rams' home field.
It's funny you talk about Kendrick Bourne. The game against the Rams, 10 catches, 142 yards. Wow, breakout game. Next game against the Buccaneers, 5 catches, 142 yards. Is this a 142-yard guy? And then 14, 44, 34. So, no, it's not.
It's probably more like what the last 3 games were instead of that one. But, hey.
Yeah, my thing is I think this is the type of game where the Niners are going to miss that guy in the middle, Fred Warner. They're going to miss him.
I agree. So, our next matchup, we go to Sunday night, and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling out to L.A. to face the L.A. Chargers at 8:20 on NBC. The Chargers are a 2.5-point favorite. Gordon, who you like in this one?
Main reason why I won't pick it this way is because even though it's not a home game, it's going to be a home game. Because it doesn't matter what team plays Chargers in that stadium, it's full of the visiting fans. Because there's too much to do in Los Angeles. They ain't going to Los Angeles, a Charger football game. They just moved to Los Angeles not that long ago. If they got a football game, they're going to get ran. Remember, the Lakers are playing, and they're actually pretty good. I thought the Chargers were going to get this, and I got to thinking, no, not after that soft comment. Give me the Steelers, and, well, I don't need points. They're dogs.
Gage, what do we think about your Steelers?
Gordon nailed it with what I was going to say at the beginning, that It feels like every time they play the Chargers, it's full, probably 70% Steeler fans, and you see all the towels waving and stuff. So it's going to feel like a home game. The thing that scares me the most, two things. Steelers defense, the run game, because Kamani Vidal has bounced in between. Good game, bad game, good game, bad game. He's due for a good game. Scary. I question what they're going to do at the defensive back position. They last week moved Jalen Ramsey to safety, which is exactly what I said they should do once they traded for him. And now they're listening to me. So it looks like I know what I'm talking about a little bit. And it worked out pretty well. Joey Porter Jr., 4 pass breakups. I think as a team, they had 13 pass breakups. You don't see that number by any defense just because it's so hard to play defense and get pass breakups without the pass interference call or without the holding call. So those are the two things that scare me because as far as I know, Jalen Ramsey's staying at the safety position. They brought in Kyle Duggar last week before the game, and he played all but one defensive snap. You didn't hear his name called because there was nothing to call his name on. He wasn't getting burned. I think he made 3 tackles. So obviously he did something right if his name's not being said. They made a move this past week that all Steeler fans hated. They released Beanie Bishop from the practice squad to make room for Marquez Valdez-Scantling on the practice squad. Why? I don't know. I thought Bishop, for being an undrafted free agent. Yes, Gordon, go ahead.
Former
I
Packer
can tell you why. Because he was a Packer.
with Rodgers.
And Rodgers liked him because he had speed. And now he caught about 80% of the passes that got thrown his way. And compared to some of them, that was awesome. That's why.
Well, my why is just more focused on why release Beanie Bishop. Yeah, I thought a very good season last year. Like I said, undrafted free agent starting. He picked off Rodgers twice. Maybe that's why they released him, because Rodgers doesn't like him. I don't really know. But they need help.
Corner,
Yes.
we'll take it.
Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if he's signed already. Let's take a quick Google search here. Nope, no one has picked him up yet, which is interesting. You'll take up the Bengals will take
Definitely.
he catch tackle.
Like I said, though, we only got 3 corners. And we got a wide receiver that's masquerading as a corner.
We have several of those.
But on offense, the key, got to get it going quick. First play for Rodgers and co last week was a play action pass, wide open Jonnu Smith, and he dropped it. And I'm watching this game going, this is how this is going to go. And the offense was stagnant for a long time. It looks like past couple years with Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky relying on the defense too much. And I'm kind of okay with that because relying on the offense sucks. I love having a great defense. I'm going to do what I did last week because it worked. We're going to go against Pittsburgh. Chargers are the favorite. It's at home. Chargers win. Give me the Chargers in this one and give me the points. But I do think Pittsburgh's going to win.
So Pittsburgh going out west, like you said, it's not going to be an away game. The terrible towels are going to be waving out there. The Chargers last week, Herbert led the team in rushing. Now, I've said it before, but if your quarterback is your leading rusher, that's not a good sign for the rest of your team. They got the win, but they were playing the Titans. Herbert threw a pick 6 in that game. The game was a lot closer than what you think it would have been or should have been. Pittsburgh had the big win last week. 6 turnovers, that they caused on defense. Just wrecking havoc. 5 sacks. I mean, where was this defense all year for Pittsburgh, right? I mean, that's what you're wanting. But I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in this one. I think Pittsburgh wins. I think they cover, of course, because they're the road dog, Jesse James. Give me the Steelers. There's my one for the show.
This scares me because I don't like when majority of people pick Pittsburgh to win.
Now, remember, though, not only did they have a pick 6, but they had the punt return touchdown, too. Yeah. They had 14 points. They was leading in the first quarter for the first time, I think, in the past, 9 years? Or no, I'm sorry.
They got that one win earlier in the year over the Cardinals, but hey.
I mean, first quarter lead.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because they were behind, 21 to – that's when DeMarcado threw the ball back. Anyways, our last matchup of the week, the Philadelphia Eagles travel to Green Bay to face the Green Bay Packers at 8:15 on ABC or ESPN. Unless you're on YouTube TV, and then good luck. Green Bay is a 1.5-point favorite. Gage, who do we got here on Monday Night Football?
Real quick, YouTube TV is designed for sports. I don't have YouTube TV. I watch it a different way, so I can't complain. But it's 4 sports. You have the 4 grids set up for a reason. Now, you can use other shows on the grid, of course, but it's football. If you did not have the Monday night game on, like J.J. Watt said in a tweet, I'm not finding another subscription to watch football. There's no reason to have, 6 or 7 subscription services for Monday Night Football or for any sport in general. Unless it's WWE, in which case you have Netflix, you got Peacock, you got ESPN, Prime, whatever it's called.
Tubi,
Yeah. But with this game, I don't know. The way the Packers played last week, I'm scared. Matt LeFleur, as we've heard a little bit this show, not liked right now by a lot of Packers fans. So I'm going to go with the opposite. I'm surprised Green Bay's favored. I really am. I know it's in Lambeau, but I'm just surprised. I'm going to go with the Eagles in this one, and obviously with that, they cover.
Gordon, what are we thinking?
Well, I won't say cover or not because I just don't do it. My head is going one way and my heart is going in the other direction. I'm taking the Packers because when they play teams that are good, they play better. Fun fact, the average depth of target for Jordan Love on games whenever they're heavily favored is 6.5 or 6. Whenever they're less than a touchdown favorite, they're 7.5, almost 8. Whenever they're slight underdogs, it's 8.5. When they're more than a touchdown underdog, it's 10 yards per target. So the more the underdog are, the more they throw the ball, and the deeper they throw the ball. Remember last year when Eagles defense was better, it came down to the last possession on both games, and one of them, Jordan Love played the final drive of the game with his damn leg limping. Yeah, he missed week 2 and week 3 last year. So my head is saying Saquon Barkley is going to rush for like 299 yards Monday night, but I'm going to take the Packers because Michael Parsons does play the Eagles pretty good. He knows how to rush against that line. So with that, I'm going to give my hope, cross my fingers, Packers.
So Philly's coming off of a bye last week, and they've been busy adding to a secondary that's kind of hurt. They bring in Jair Alexander. They bring in Jalen Phillips. They bring in Michael Carter II from the Jets. There's another Jets player that was traded. So they're trying to bolster up that secondary a little bit back there. The Packers, on the other hand, last week lost at home to the Panthers, but they outgained the Panthers in every way except for the scoreboard. That's the only part that they didn't. Bryce Young threw for like 102 yards. Jordan Love threw for 273. Packers, I think this is a bounce back for the Packers here. The Eagles coming off of a bye, though, going to Green Bay. Green Bay doesn't lose 2 straight home games. Give me the Packers in this one, and give me the Packers to cover here on Monday Night Football. Packers win. Go, Pack, go.
I don't know if you said it or not, and I know we didn't say it when going over the trade deadline moves, but one of the moves that the Eagles made with the Dolphins was acquiring Jalen Phillips for like a 3rd-round pick, I think it was. Phillips has 3 sacks already this season. Pretty good edge rusher, a little bit of health problems, but if he manages to stay healthy, I think he can be also a big difference maker for the Philly defense.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making trades on the defensive side there, and, they're trying to get that side going. They need to get going on offense, too. I still don't think they've been impressive. Saquon hasn't really got going like he was last year at all. I don't think he does this week either, so that's why I'm rolling with the Pack. And the buys this week. Thank God. The Bengals are on a bye. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Titans. There's our bye week team.
Not a lot, but some good teams out there. The Chiefs and Cowboys a little bit.
Cowboys are half team.
I was going to say that, but I wasn't going to point it out.
Good offense, but they're a shitty defense.
That sounds like the first team there, too, the Bengals.
And then there's the other team that's just shitty.
Yeah, definitely. So, Gage, my Dubby came in the other day, and oh man, it was good. Blue Raz is good stuff. It's great. I love that stuff.
And
Beach and Peach.
Beach and Peach. Yep. I have that one sitting.
Dragon Age.
Yep, that one is somewhere buried on my table here. We got what was the other one? Guava grenade? I think?
Yeah, that's what I got too. Yeah, those are the 3 that I got. And then I got a nice little white little bottle there for mine, white and red.
Nice.
So nobody tried Grandpa's denture water yet?
Nobody's tried it yet, but I mean, that's my next purchase probably on there.
You say that and s'mores.
Oh,
I think the s'mores just comes in a tub, so I'm afraid because it mixes with milk, and I'm not a big milk drinker. So I'm interested on how that one's going to be. Grandpa's denture, I don't know what to expect from that one. What's it going to taste like?
Where's Grandpa's dentures been? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and how do you get the flavor of Grandpa's denture water? Like, who tasted that and was like, yeah, it tastes like this?
Yeah, you know what? This will get you ready and going, get you plenty of energy. Be Dubby, be better. Grandpa's denture water. Hey, use our promo code Yellin and save 10% at checkout. YELLING. There we go. And we may have a little short that comes out here pretty soon. Been working on it a little bit, and I'll get it out this weekend. So just be looking out for that little Dubby promo video. Right, Gage?
Absolutely. And I think the flavor in it is the same one that I have right now with, what do they call it? We got the Blue Tropical Punch, the Strike one. So it's pretty good. I must say it is pretty good. Yeah, 30 servings in it, getting kind of low. So looking at ordering another one.
Think of it. I think it's like $30 for one of those tubs, right?
I think.
And you get 30 servings.
So
that's $1 a drink, and it's really good stuff. So it's not bad. Not a bad deal at all.
Yeah,
plus you get the 10% discount.
I was just going to say that. Use promo code Yelling, and you paid less than $1 per serving.
Absolutely. Well, do either one of you all have anything else to add on this podcast? I mean, we've covered a lot, and I think that we've covered just about everything. But if there's anything else, speak now or hold your peace till next week.
I'm good. Gordon?
Packers need to sign a corner.
And with that, that'll do it for us this week, and we will catch you all next week. We'll see you. We're halfway through the season, guys. Halfway through the season. We're at the official halfway mark. It's kind of sad in a way, isn't it?
It is, because it's going so fast. It's crazy how fast time moves. Just saw a thing earlier today. Spring training is already set for baseball to come back in February. We're going to have the Super Bowl in February. We're so close to the end of the season, so close to a Pittsburgh playoff game hosting. And it's going to be electric second half of the season, I got a feeling.
Well, let's hope the second half was a lot better than the first half, and we will catch you all next time.